All right then. This one's about an old woman who was fed up. Mind you, she did live in a vinegar bottle.
Oh, a vinegar bottle? I'd be fed up if I lived in a vinegar bottle.
She must have been really small.
Or perhaps the vinegar bottle was very big.
Oh, well, I can tell you this. Whichever it was, she wasn't very happy.
Oh dear, oh dear. What a terrible thing it is to live in a vinegar bottle.
Now it happened that a fairy was passing by just as the old woman spoke.
No, that's lucky.
She's right, thought the fairy. I wouldn't like to live in a vinegar bottle.
No.
How nice it would be to live in a little cottage and have roses around the door.
Then that is what you shall have, the fairy said. And the fairy flew away, north, south, east and west, doing her work. But the next time the fairy was passing, she thought she would see how the old woman was doing.
Oh dear. How lonely I am. Oh, it's very nice to live here in this cottage, but out here in the country I never see anybody. How nice it would be to live in a small house in the town and have lots of friends and neighbours to talk to.
Then that is what you shall have, the fairy said. And the fairy flew away, north, south, east and west, doing her work. Until one day she remembered the old woman and she wondered how she was getting on in her little house in the town.
Oh dear. How small my house is. Oh, it's very nice to live in the town and have all these friends to talk to, but I can hardly move. How nice it would be to live in a large house with lots and lots of rooms.
Then that is what you shall have, the fairy said. And the fairy flew away, north, south, east and west, doing her work. Then one day the fairy wondered if the old woman was enjoying her big house.
Do you think she was?
Oh dear. How hard I have to work. Oh, it's all very well living in this large house with so many rooms, but I have to clean it all myself. How nice it would be to live in a large mansion house and have lots and lots of servants.
Then that is what you shall have, the fairy said. And the fairy flew away, north,
south,
east and west, doing her work. Then one day she went to see if the old woman was enjoying her big mansion house.
Oh dear. How fed up I am. Oh, it's all very well living in this large mansion house with all of these servants, but I have nothing to do. How nice it would be to live in a palace and be the queen. Yes, well, my servants could look after the palace and I could look after the land.
The fairy thought to herself, this woman will never be happy.
No, that's right.
Yes.
The more I give her, the more she wants. This is what you shall have.
Oh dear. Oh, my vinegar bottle. Oh.
And that was the story of the old woman who lived in a vinegar bottle.
She was never satisfied. I wouldn't be happy either living in a little vinegar bottle, but all those other houses the fairy... nice.
That's right, yeah.